Welcome to Sort 5. Today we're going to be working on these words that are right in front of us. In the past few lessons we've been working on prefixes. That is where you have a base word and you add something to the front of the word which changes the base word. In this lesson we're going to be working on words, base words, but then adding something to the end of the word called a suffix. Now, I think we did already write these things down in our Words We Know section of our word study notebook, but I would like for you guys to open that section so that you can add information to it. So I'm going to wait for everybody right now to open their books to the Words You Know section, which is your definitions. It is the place where you have written about homophones. It's a place where you've written about onomatopoeia. You've written also about your prefixes and other aspects of the study of words. I think you might even have alliteration in there. I hope everybody's found that section because I'd like you to add some things to it. So keep that open for now. I'd like you now to look at these words. As I mentioned, we are working on adding things to the end of words, the suffix. So in your notebook now, I'd like you to write the word suffix down, which is spelled S-U-F-F-I-X. And the definition of that, if you already have it, it won't take long, so don't worry. Just wait for a minute. You put in there that it's things that you add to the base word that changes the base word's meaning slightly. All right, so now that you know we're really focusing on the end of words, I bet you've already figured out the way that we're going to be sorting them. Take a look. I bet that you saw we would be sorting our words with Y. So words that end in Y, as well as words that end in ly, and finally words that end in ILY. So the first thing we need to do is sort by these categories, and then we'll talk about what these words mean and how we use them. Okay, so this is Y, silent ly, we got to move that over here, ILY over here, LY. We're going to talk about the spelling of these words briefly as well. Briefly, readily, spotty, generously, skinny, fluently. These are pretty hard words, you may be noticing. Hastily, silvery. Seriously? Squirmy. Some of us might be that way during this spelling test because it's hard. Squeaky. Velvety. All right, let's see. We've got shaggy. I'm going to need to slide these down a bit because that's going to go in the Y category as well. LY. I'll put this one over here too. The Y spelling pattern. LY. It's going to take you a bit to sort these, as you can clearly see. I'll put that one there. Swampy. Eagerly. Greedily. ILY. Rapidly. Let's read them to make sure that we have them correctly. See if they all end in Y. Just Y. Got those. LY. Perfect. And ILY. I think we got them. All right, so now we need to look at these words and talk about what part of speech they are. So you're still going to need to have your words you know section open, your definition of words. Scratch is the base word, plus Y, scratchy. Makes a long E sound at the end. Spot, base word, spotty. Notice there's a change in spelling with this one, that we double the consonant here. Some of them we do that too. For example, this one, skin, we double the consonant before putting the Y on. Silvery, don't do that for that. Squirmy, nope. Squeaky, velvety. Shaggy, again, doubling the consonant. Wealthy, and swampy. Let's go over with these words. You might have scratchy sweater that you're wearing. Something might be spotty, might have dirt on it. If somebody's skinny, they're quite thin. Silvery, that might be somebody, you might describe somebody's clothing as very silvery if they had a lot of sparkle in them. Squirmy, that's if you're moving around and you can't sit still because you're uncomfortable. You might be a little squirmy in a spelling test. Squeaky, that might be the sound of a mouse making noise, or your chair could be squeaky. Velvety, that's a texture often. That might be something that you might have velvety feel in your mouth, or you might feel something really soft and it would be very velvety. Shaggy, shaggy carpet. Shag, space word. Wealth, someone has a lot of wealth, they are wealthy. And swamp, swamp is a type of water with lots of moss in it, very thick. And if something is swampy, it would be very thick like that. Okay, then we have Lee. So we have silent, Lee, you'll be silently reading soon. Secretly, you might pass a note to someone. I've seen that before. Bravely, you guys are brave, but if you're acting bravely, we would have that. Eager, meaning you want to do something, but if you're eagerly doing something, you have a lot of anticipation and excitement over it. The dog eagerly ate its food because it was so hungry. Rapidly doing something, we're rapidly going over these spelling words, but we're also doing it kind of briefly because we're going pretty fast. You guys are all generous in the class, donating to Pennies for Patients and other charities. We are generously giving. If you are a fluent reader, it means that you read so that it's a pleasure to listen to you. It's very smooth, and you're fluently reading. Seriously, you might, if you're doing something with lots of concentration. And polite, being very kind and respectful. You are politely sharing the classroom supplies. We also have ILY, merry, be the base word. And notice we would drop the Y, change it to I, and add the ending, merrily. Merrily, we skipped around because we were so excited about NPE. Same with ready, R-E-A-D-Y. We drop the Y, change it to I, and add L-Y. Greedily. My dogs sometimes greedily eat their food so the other ones can't have it. That would be G-R-E-E-D-Y, greedy, but we would drop the Y, change it to I, and add L-Y. And haste, H-A-S-T-E, that means to do something quickly. If I was hastily doing something, I am rushing through the job. Now, these words with Y describe nouns. They are called adjectives. Adjectives. I'm going to write that down. Not sure how well you'll be able to see it. I hope you will. Adjectives. And I'm going to put it under here. Adjectives. You could split it up by syllables to get it. Adjectives. There's the E here, even though it's not making this long I. Adjectives. So you want to write this word down in your words you know area. Adjectives. The words that are adjectives in here have Y at the end. And I would like you to write under adjectives words that describe nouns. It's more than that, though, but write that down. Words that describe nouns. There are many sentences you could use to help you determine if something is an adjective, something that will make your writing more descriptive, which is something that we're working on a lot this year. I'm just going to give you one, and if you would like different sentences, I will give you many of them later. But this one I'd like you to write down because it will help you determine if something is an adjective. However, we do know that all the words that end just in Y in this list are adjectives. The blank dog ran off. If a word will fit in here and make pretty good sense, you know you actually have an adjective, something that will describe the dog. So let's see if we can use all of the Y words to describe a dog. I'm going to leave this here because I think you can see them all pretty well if I do that. We have the scratchy dog ran off. That makes sense. The skinny dog ran off. Sure. The spotty dog ran off. The silvery dog ran off. These all work pretty well. The squirmy dog ran off. He's squirming, he's shaking, he's uncomfortable. The squeaky dog ran off. He's maybe making some funny noises. And the velvety soft dog ran off. These are what words are adjective. We have the shaggy dog, the wealthy dog. You can sort of tell if it's a homeless dog versus a dog that's being taken care of. And the swampy dog. Maybe he's drooling and just acting all sluggish and bizarre. Some of these don't work as well, but you get the idea. Okay. The other type of word in this list are the other two lists, the ly and the ILY. These words are called adverbs. You can tell partially what the meaning of that word is going to be because of the word verb that is currently in it. Adverb. So please write this down as well. And these are words that describe or clarify verbs. And I'm going to give you a sentence for this too. Now you can use other sentences if you think it will help you, okay? And I will tell you many, many more sentences you could use to determine if something is an adverb. I'd like you to write the word down, or the sentence down. The girl read blank. So we're going to use these words to see if they make sense in the sentence. The adverb describes verbs. The girl read. So let's look at some of these. I'm going to lower this down just a tad. We'll cover up one of those. Okay. The girl read silently. You do that every day, so of course that makes sense. The girl read bravely. She might have been nervous, but she really put her best foot forward. The girl read briefly. She only read a little bit. It's very brief and short. The girl read generously. May mean that she was reading to her younger brother and sister. Even though she had so much of her own work to do, she did it generously. She was happy to do it. She read fluently. Means she read really well. Made it a pleasure to listen to. The girl read seriously. It was a serious part of the book. She wasn't giggling about. She was reading seriously. Let's look at the ones hidden under here. She read politely. Yeah, she wasn't using any slang or anything like that. She read secretly. Maybe she was supposed to be sleeping. But she really wanted to finish that chapter. She read eagerly. She just couldn't wait to find out what was going to happen in the story. And she read rapidly. She read so fast you could hardly understand a word out of her mouth. Then we also have these adverbs. She read merrily. She was happy. She was just in joy. She read readily. Sounds a little strange because we see both read and read next to each other. Read, read. She read readily. If you readily do something, you're doing it. I'm readily able to help you. I'm willing to help you. Okay? The girl read greedily. She wasn't sharing the book. She was just like, mine. She read hastily. She read so fast. She did it in haste. These words are challenging. You guys are definitely up for the challenge. Be aware that we're working with adjectives